Wow. Peace in the Middle East. Is the war over? Has it capitulated? Is the Straits of Hormuz, is it going to open? Oh my goodness, people. What news? Today is Wednesday, April 1st, 2026. Incredible news. The stock market is back up. Stocks climb on war and optimism. FDA grants speedy approval to Eli Lilly's weight loss pill for obesity. I just finished my 3-day water fast with electrolytes and magnesium. Dropped 5 pounds. I don't need, Ozempic. Transatlantic rift widens as Trump lashes out at NATO allies over Mideast war. The U.S. doesn't need NATO. What, Article 8 or Article 5 or whatever? State stocks rally worldwide as oil prices ease on hopes for possible end to the war. Is this it? Has there been capitulation? Is the war over? We shall see. Anthropic could trigger a machine speed cyber war. CrowdStrike news. Marvel Technology news and NVIDIA. 2 billion reason to buy Marvel Technology stock. I'm just reading the news headlines, people, and like and share. XL Energy news. Kathy Woods was buying Circle stock. So we got news there. So I go over geopolitics and socioeconomics, and then, my goodness, and then give free alpha at the end, so stay with me, it's worth it. Here's the minis. S&P minis up 75, the NASDAQ minis up 400 points, the Dow futures up another 400 points today. The VIX is dipping down to 24, so the Dixie at 99. The 10-year, got to watch that yield on the 10-year, 111-020. Crude oil's off $1 or so at $100 a barrel. Nat gas is off at 2.81. Gold, though, gold is telling a different story. Gold's up $135 an ounce to $4,812. And silver, the silver trade's back on, up above $75. So what's going on, people, with this? So let's see. My goodness, Dow Inc., stock symbol DOW, trending up. So let's look at the most active stocks. SanDisk is up 11%. Again, Micron Technologies had a dippy dip, and now the trade's back on. NVIDIA, Tesla, SoundDisk, Meta Platform, Facebook, Mr. Softy is active. Alphabet, Google's doing great, up 4%. Advanced Micro Devices, Amazon, and Intel. Intel's up 10%. So this is what we're at. Gold is pumping. Crude oil at $100 a barrel. Is the Straits of Hormuz going to be opened up? The S&P's pumping. So this is what we have on bar chart. So, my goodness, people. So I look at also Yahoo Finance. So I go over the news, and then from that I'm able to produce a trading plan, speculation plan for myself. Trump, U.S. will consider Iran ceasefire when Hormuz opens. President Trump posted on Wednesday that Iran's new regime president has asked for a ceasefire. So we shall see. There's going to be a national address of such. Apparently, U.S. stocks climb as de-escalation talk in Iran sparks rally. Anthropic does damage control after leak. Iran says it's going after big tech. Anthropic. SpaceX, big news on SpaceX. Confidentially files for IPO. Intel stock climbs on chip plant buyout news. So Intel's in play. Nike stock plunges to 11-year low. What's going on with Nike and Air Jordans and everything? Is Nike stock going to zero? Are they going to file bankruptcy? I mean, who knows? Their stock, people aren't purchasing the Nike sneakers anymore. Oracle reportedly joins tech peers in layoff spree. So Oracle went in all in on the AI build out for infrastructures for data centers, and now they lay off thousands of people. And let's hope, that they hire people back as the AI play works out. We shall see. Fed Mulsanne cautions about looking through oil price shock. And then, of course, employment data, private employer job growth held steady. 62,000 new roles were reported in job openings. OpenAI raised an historic amount of money. OpenAI news. So Wednesday, it says Trump to give speech Wednesday on Iran war, the White House says. So weight loss drugs, Eli Lilly. I do intermittent fasting, so I haven't eaten anything today. And then, like I said, I just finished a 3-day water fast with electrolytes and magnesium only, and dropped 5 pounds with no Eli Lilly or Ozempic medicine needed. I don't give medical advice. Your flight, you're going to fly this summer, they're going to get a lot more expensive because of hyperinflation. Treasury yields, and so this is mega IPO looms. Elon Musk, SpaceX. I publish my videos also on X, so I want to welcome all my new subs on Twitter and X. So portfolio managers prefer Amazon and Nvidia. How AI will help Zillow. My goodness, in real estate market, Zillow stock is off about 1%. Weak China sales. People in China are not purchasing Nike sneakers, so the stock's off 14%. Bitcoin rises above 68K, sparking hope for the cryptocurrency. I bought the dippy dip on Bitcoin and also on XRP, Ripple, and have profited handsomely. So more on that later. Most active stocks today: Nvidia, Intel, Nike, Micron Technologies is very active, and Nokia, very active. Nokia spends more CapEx on R&D, research and development than any company I think I know. Incredible company, and stocks been very good. So this is the news on Yahoo Finance, running about 7 minutes. So I don't run commercials, but check this out. I just recently penned an ebook that you can read for free. It's on Kindle. It's AI data engineering course. So I'm considered one of the world's leading experts in AI data engineering. So I've penned an ebook. It's the combination of artificial intelligence meets data engineering. Check out the links below on my ebook, AI Data Engineering. AI, artificial intelligence, again, meets data engineering. So enough from our sponsor. See, I do affiliate marketing, but for my own products. So I created that ebook because of my expertise in data engineering and AI, the artificial intelligence. So I did some more research here. I'm going to run a little longer today, but so there's several critical pressure points converging in April in 2026 that will fundamentally alter global econometrics and geopolitical landscape. Now, these are not separate crises, but a synchronized series of events that are transpiring. So I'm going to kind of break these down and research them. One, the Iran Strait of Hormuz deadline is set for 6 April. So that's 5 days from now. A major deadline is set at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 6th of April regarding the reopening of the Straits of Hormuz. Now here's the situation. Iran has effectively closed the Strait of Hormuz to Western shipping, creating a toll booth where only certain nations, China, Russia, etc., can pass the toll booth by paying in yuan, the currency of China, not the US dollar or the petrodollar. So ending the hegemony of the world's reserve currency. So we shall see how that plays out. Now here's the risk. If the US strikes Iranian infrastructure, my goodness, Oil could spike to $150 to $200 a barrel, and it's already treading water here now at about $100 a barrel. And that could potentially cause a 15 to 20% stock market correction on the global stock indexes like the Dow Jones Industrial Average, the NASDAQ, and the S&P 500. Now here's the second point. Doubling of oil supply disruptions by mid-April. Around April 19th, the global oil supply disruption is projected to double from 5 to 10%. Strategic reserves, like there's current buffers like the U.S. Strategic Petroleum Reserve, are expected to be exhausted or lose their effectiveness by this point. Here's the consequences. This could lead to gas prices of $6 to $8 per gallon in the U.S. and severe diesel shortages in Asia. The third point, China's Taiwan window. So this is, my goodness, April is a historic active period for Chinese military in the Taiwan Strait due to calmer seas. Strategic opportunity with the U.S. resources committed to the Middle East, China may see a window of opportunity to escalate pressure or blockade Taiwan. Global impact. What could happen? Since Taiwan produces 90% of the world's most advanced computer chips for companies like Taiwan Semiconductor and NVIDIA, any disruption would collapse global tech supply chains. So that's real, people. Now the fertilizer and food crisis, this is in late April. April is the spring planting season for Northern Hemisphere. It's critical month for food security. Input costs, fertilizer prices are up 50%. Lower yields, social unrest. High food prices often lead to food riots. Hungry people are dangerous people. That's a quote. On import-dependent nations like Egypt, Pakistan, and Bangladesh and India. So, and here's the fifth point, market repricing and stagflation. Remember 2008-09 when oil prices pinnacled and then the economy dipped into the GFC? Markets are currently pricing in optimistic scenarios, but a break in the Iran deadline or oil supply could trigger a massive repricing event. Now here's the challenge. Stagflation. It's a combination of very high inflation and low economic growth. It's the worst possible combination for the world's G7 and G20 nations for the global economy. Now here's the sixth point. The shift in global currency. China is using the oil crisis to promote the yuan as a viable alternative to the Dixie, to the US dollar for commodity trading. Now, if major producers like Saudi Arabia begin accepting the yuan, it would represent a tectonic shift in the global monetary system and the US dollar petrodollar hegemony. Before World War II, it was the British pound sterling that was the world's reserve currency. Japan, we got to keep our eyes on Japan. Japan imports 75% of its energy through the Straits of Hormuz and is undergoing a big defense shift in the last 80 years. If the Straits of Hormuz, here's a challenge for Japan. If the Straits of Hormuz remain closed through April, Japan faces an existential energy crisis and it's got to make a choice between strategic subordination to China or military escalation. So history doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes. So Japan, had an oil embargo before the Pearl Harbor event. So this is history repeating itself, possibly. I'm just a messenger, so don't blame me. I'm just kind of reporting the news and doing my own research. Now here's a summary of key dates, everyone, to watch. Today, the 1st of April through the 3rd of April. Watch for U.S. messaging regarding the deadline extensions. April 6th is the big day for the critical Iran deadline. And April 15th through the 19th, watch for spikes in agricultural commodities, wheat, corn, soybean, corn, my goodness. In late April, watch for social unrest and food protest in developing nations. So this is what we have on deck, people. It's real. So I conclude, that these events might not end. It's not going to end civilization. They could set a difficult trajectory for the remainder of 2026, comparing the potential shock to the 1970s oil crisis, but amplified by simultaneous food and security threats. So this is what we have on deck. I do my own research on it. So if you're in Bangladesh or in Egypt or Pakistan, now's the time to start planting home gardens for food supply. So that's what I have for today, running about 16 minutes. Tell me what you think. I got to check the weather real quick here too. Let me check my app, weathermist.com. That's weathermist.com. It's my agentic AI platform that I own. It meets artificial intelligence, agentic AI meets meteorology. So it says here, where I'm here in North Florida, 82 degrees, mainly clear, but it feels like 88. 49% humidity, light winds, no rain, drought conditions here in North Florida. Now the AI alert says on weathermist.com, enjoy the warm weather, but stay hydrated, and to remember to use sunscreen if you're outdoors. That's weathermist.com. So now on to my trading and speculation plan. So let's see how the markets are acting. You got a lot of key events coming up here in April, people. So special shout out to Bernstein, my new Bentley hat. They called the bottom in the Bitcoin cryptocurrency mining stocks. So they're pumping again today, BKCH, so I'll blockchain. I'll do a DCA today in Bitcoin, S&P 500, SPY ETF, the blockchain ETFs, Solana's pumping, I'll DCA it, Block, BLOK up nice. So looking at some of the stock shares this last week, had sold some nice puts on these deals and then unwound them. Coinbase, Iron Limited is pumping today up nice. Not financial advice. Iron Limited at one time was up about 4% in pre-market. Bitminer Immersion Technologies. That's stock, Bitmine Immersion Technologies. Up nice, pumping, up 3% today. My goodness, nice stock shares there. I just kind of go over my trading plan. Applied Digital, APLD, pumped nice, up nicely today. Pre-market, right at the open, Applied Digital was up about percentage gain, about 9%. And then TeraWulf's doing great. Wolf, WULF, right at the open at 10:30 was up about 5%. So thanks, Bernstein. Core Scientific, Riot Platforms, HUD-8, and Cipher Mining. So in fair disclosure, I own shares in these companies. So that's what we have for today, everyone. Again, check out my ebook link below, and then check out weathermist.com and Solana, FSOL, Solana's pumping. And Pixel, what's up with Pixel? Pixel had a huge pump, hundreds of thousands of points of return on Pixel coin. Got listed on the DEX and everything, on major exchanges, and incredible news on Pixel. Solana, FSOL, today up about 4.5%. So Solana looks oversold. So in conclusion, that's what I have. Exciting news today. Is the Straits of Hormuz going to be opened? Is this World War III? Food security. I'm a prepper. I went to prep school for 6 years. So I learned how to be a prepper, how to think like a prepper. We got to pray for humanity in these world events and, peace in the Middle East. Got Israel, the IDF, Hamas, Hezbollah, the Gaza Strip, Qatar, Iran, my goodness, United Arab Emirates, the Straits of Hormuz, the Indian Ocean, aircraft carriers. I mean, it's incredible. Bitcoin's oversold, technically 100% downtrend. I've been backing the truck up in it. And XRP Ripple. Purchasing some more of that. Been difficult to purchase Ripple. It's 100% downtrend. Everyone's capitulated on both Bitcoin and XRP Ripple. I was backing the truck up this last week in Bitcoin. Had dippy dip Bitcoin this last week to 65,500. In the last month, Bitcoin dippy dipped to 65,789. Now it's changing wallets, pumps up to 69,000. So a nice 4,000 or 5,000 point pump. And the same thing could be said of XRP Ripple. Been buying the dip on XRP Ripple on the blockchain at 1.33 on the dippy dip. So we shall see, people. Had a great week so far. Again, thanks to Bernstein. Tip my Bentley hat to you. And the blockchain ETFs and Solana. Is the war over? Will we have peace? Will the Straits of Hormuz open? Or is this the buildup to the next World War III scenario? Yesterday was history. Tomorrow's a mystery. And so with that, everyone, running about 22 minutes. Had a great week so far. So thankful. I say this every day. I give thanks for my abundant supply now manifested. I have it now. So with that, everyone, let's see ETH. ETH is pumping, doing great. Ethereum now is above 2,000, catching a bid. The crypto space is oversold, people. Pixel, big pump on Pixel. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.